Alright guys, my name is Ben Hadley. This is my presentation on Star Wars. And today we're going to be diving into the themes that make the movie so compelling to watch. Just by show of hands, who here has seen Star Wars? Okay, a good amount of guys, okay. The popularity of Star Wars does not solely derive from just the cool lightsaber fights and the massive space battles. Instead, Star Wars connects the most with the audience because of the director's choice to focus on particular themes that captivate the audience and leave them with valuable life lessons. So the first theme I'm focused on is growing up. And this follows Luke Skywalker's journey towards manhood. So he starts off in episode 4 as kind of just this boy who lives on a farm, and he kind of just has big dreams of going out and exploring the universe and becoming a Jedi. And kind of the director kind of invites us here to kind of go along with Luke here and kind of envision ourselves kind of in his shoes and kind of as that boy or girl and kind of play along with that dream. And he, in this first movie, he meets a mentor of his, and this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he kind of lays the foundation for Luke and trains him how to use a lightsaber, how to wield the Force. And kind of fast forward to the end of the movie, along the way he meets all these different people, kind of has a crew of friends, and he's able to use these new powers that Obi-Wan teaches him to blow up the Death Star. Now, the next stage of his life is kind of this struggle stage, and this is like the most important point of his life. And after he kind of blows up the Death Star, he's kind of like on top of the world. You know, he's like this overconfident, you could say he's like a teenager, young adult, actually like probably like around our age. So, I mean, he still wants to get better, he still wants to train the Force, so he goes to Yoda for some guidance, but he's quickly to realize that he's like very impatient. He wants to become a Jedi right now, but that's not how you become a Jedi. It takes a lot of years of practice and patience. And Yoda kind of tells him this, it's like, hey, you need more training, and he wants to go off and just immediately go and save his friends, dive right into it. But that leads to him like making these mistakes. And here the director's kind of connecting with the audience, saying like, you know, around this time you're going off and doing new things, and you're kind of prone to like making these mistakes. And the biggest mistake he's going to make here is thinking that he can defeat Vader, and because of that he loses his hand and kind of like screws his friends over, and they end up captured.
It's useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did. There's no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You've only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. I'll never join you! If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you. I am your father. Not true. That's impossible.
So yeah, after kind of learning about this, learning that his father is actually this evil villain, Darth Vader, and after losing his hand, it kind of humbles him, and this is kind of his next stage into becoming a man, becoming a Jedi Knight. And at this point, he's humbled, and he realizes that he needs to go back and train more. He needs to listen to what Yoda was telling him, so that like it takes years of work and it takes a lot of patience to become a good Jedi, and ultimately become a man too. And after he goes and trains more off screen, the next movie he comes back way more powerful, and now he's like way more mature, he's patient, and now he's able to finally save his friends. And the director here is kind of connecting with the audience, saying that in order to grow, everyone has to inevitably struggle. And let's see, so my next theme is redemption, and we're gonna be taking a look at Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, Luke's father, his transition from going to the light side, or going from the dark side to the light side. And I have a quote here: a redemption arc is a literary term for a type of character development in which a bad or morally gray character, in this case Anakin, turns into a good person by the end of the story. So Anakin starts off, he's like the chosen one. He's supposed to save everyone. He's supposed to bring balance to the Force, but that kind of all changes because he turns to the dark side for a variety of reasons. Biggest of which is honestly him seeing his mother being killed, and he has visions of his wife in the future, like her dying during childbirth, and this like scares the shit out of him. And he goes to the Jedi like trying to search, like, hey, like this is what's happening to me. But they basically tell him, like, you know, just let go of the people that you love, like don't think about it. Like that just makes it worse, and it kind of makes him bottle up his feelings. And the director here is connecting the audience more so by being like, hey, like, you know, you've probably been in similar situations where you're bottling up your feelings, and it's better to like let them go than like bottle them up like Anakin does, and it just leads them down a worse path, which is the dark side. And that's basically, the dark side promises that like it gives you powers to like save the ones you love from dying. And this just leads to a lot of conflict. When he finally becomes Vader, he's really just this good Jedi that's like trapped in an evil suit, like, if that makes any sense. And it takes him a while to realize that there still is good in him. And that kind of comes when he meets his son Luke. And Luke is like, hey, there is still good in you, and that you can still be redeemed. And this is that redemption. So yeah, that's Vader's transition to kind of going back to being like that good Anakin Skywalker, and this is where he kind of becomes that chosen one, and he's redeemed. And it kind of just the director here is showing the audience that people who've made bad decisions in the past, they still should have that opportunity to be good, and they still can be good, which Vader shows us there. And he does this by sacrificing himself to save his son. And this also kind of shows the audience the power that like love has, and that power of like that father-son relationship. And this is like the key to the light side, really, is that like power of love. All right, and then this is my last theme, my outlier, which is horror. Which, I mean, when you think of Star Wars, you think of like family and redemption and all these different other themes, but you never really think of like the horror behind it. So this character in the top right, he's from the prequels. His name's Darth Maul, and he has these like horns and like fiery red and black colors that like resembles like hell and like the devil. And I mean, if you look at any picture of the devil, like it looks exactly like Maul. And And also, like the next part of it is fear, and Star Wars actually has a lot of like ideas of like fear around it, and which fear is actually the purpose of horror. So this is a quote from Westport Library. It says, "The key focus of horror is to elicit a sense of dread in the audience through frightening images and situations." And basically the director here is captivating the audience by scaring the shit out of them, which is the next step of it. And yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you guys for listening so much.